Hello, everyone. I'm here to introduce you today to Akira Yabumoto-san from Dengen Kaihatsu, also known as J-Power. Um, he is the Executive Officer for Strategy for Global Energy Markets and Policy, and important to our conversation today, hydrogen and CCUS projects. So it's wonderful to meet you today.
Thank you, Travis. I'm very happy to be invited to this panel, and it's my great pleasure.
Great. Yeah, we're very much looking forward to having you join us as a panelist at our event this July at World Hydrogen Asia, which is a S&P Global event of many that we conduct globally. Can I first ask you to just to introduce yourself? I looked at your resume and I noticed that you went from KO studying development economics into J-Power. Can you give us what brought you there? Maybe just in general, the path that you led within J-Power at your time there. You know, you were at the IEA, you were at MIT. If you can just talk a little bit about that and then how you got moved into hydrogen.
Yeah, sure. Actually, that I have more than 30 years experience at the J-Power, so it's a
Incredible.
kind of long history. But yeah, I studied, as you mentioned, that development economics at the college, and that's the reason why that I joined the J-Power, because J-Power is investing, that the hydro no, actually that our project in developing countries. That was my, the focus area. But after joining the J-Power, that I also that found that the policy, the relationship with the policy and the energy business is a very interesting field, and I joined that. I found at my secondment to the MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, at my young age, around 30 years old. So, and after that, I just, continued that, the, can, analyzing, reviewing the policy trend and market trend, and also the relationship with business. So, like 20 years ago, that my focus area is about restructuring the electric power industry, mostly the liberalization and the retail competition, wholesale competition,
Yeah.
something those lines. But now that the focus area is slightly changing from the restructuring electric power industry itself and to the more on climate change policy issue, climate change related issue, and in particular the decarbonization of the existing business for us. And
Yes.
that is also that that I learned from my secondment period to the International Energy Agency in France. So I was in the energy analyst, and also that the joining the policy review team to various the member countries. So and after that, I still worked on policy review and policy analysis of the and that in addition to the market trend analysis. That's how I found that what is the new field, what is the new strategic field for J-Power and for myself. And for about 4 years ago, that the J-Power set up that cross departmental teams on working on hydrogen and CCS for the decarbonization of our operations. Then I'm responsible for one of the team of that hydrogen and the CCS, especially focusing on the fossil fuel based so-called blue hydrogen and the CCS project. And other team are working on like a green hydrogen and domestic and also that overseas. So, and I have worked on development and participating in blue hydrogen project outside of Japan and also the CCS project outside of Japan. So now I'm here.
Yeah, that's great. And I will ask you a little bit about, your activities last year that you've been doing outside of Japan. But I'm curious, maybe you can explain to people where hydrogen fits into the J-Power Blue Mission 2050 vision that you have
Mhm.
for your company.
Actually, yes. the unique asset portfolio of J-Power is about half of the installed capacity is hydropower, wind power, geothermal power, and that's the renewable power generation. But about half is the coal-fired power. It's very, very, carbon intensive, the power generation. So obviously that our biggest challenge is how to decarbonize our business and how to decarbonize our existing fossil-fired power business. The one we have many options to decarbonize our business. So one is the important part of the biggest challenge is how to decarbonize our existing business, and especially how to reduce the emission from coal-fired power. So we have many options. And one of the crucial option is using hydrogen, a low carbon fuel at our existing coal-fired power plant. That's why that we are working on hydrogen and the CCUS. And the CCUS is also is a combination with the hydrogen production in outside Japan. But I'm also working on the CCUS project itself to store the emitted CO2 from our power stations.
Very nice. So I'm curious, there's a lot of movement in hydrogen these days, and there's a relationship between producers and off-takers, and J-Power would definitely be an off-taker. What is J-Power's strategy for procuring hydrogen, and are you considering establishing your own network of plants and things like that where you can bring in your own low carbon hydrogen, or do you think generally you're going to be working with third-party companies to purchase ammonia and hydrogen?
Yeah, many people is referring the experience of the LNG market development, and yeah, the situation of hydrogen or ammonia is somewhat similar to that situation, but very different situation is, and the similarity is okay that we don't have any the value chain supply chain of the low carbon hydrogen, low carbon ammonia itself, as especially in the large scale for the use of as a fuel. So that's why that we are very much interested in developing the value chain itself, and of course that we are the potential off taker of the low carbon hydrogen, low carbon ammonia. But at the same time, we may need to work with the developer or the logistic companies to create a new value chain of the low carbon ammonia, low carbon hydrogen. So that's why that I have worked on and discussed with many the potential suppliers outside of Japan. So and many people are aware that many companies have tried to develop a new project to produce low carbon ammonia, low carbon hydrogen, and to export to Japan. And that's how that my team have discussed with the potential suppliers how we can establish the new value chain.
That's very interesting. I'm curious if you can put your hat on as a former IEA policy analyst. Um, inevitably, this is going to be a very international um, relationship. You're going to be procuring ammonia from other countries that have different policies, and Japan will have their own policies. And now you're working in a private company. What do you think Japan needs to do in terms of policy, and what do you think the countries supplying Japan need to do in terms of policy to really, commercialize and stimulate the hydrogen and ammonia derivatives market for power generation?
Hmm. Okay, so from viewpoint of not from the J-Power itself, from viewpoint of policy analysis, the announcement of by Japanese government to introduce large scale hydrogen or ammonia to Japan's industry. That's a very good message to stimulate the other part of the world, and to stimulate the new project development, both green, blue, whatever. So, and that is, that very good start. And but still that we are facing, we have all facing that difficulty of introducing the new fuel and new very expensive material to the existing value chain, existing the supply chain. So we still need to how to overcome the these challenges. The one thing is the Japanese government have introduced the CFD support, contract for differences. That is the one of the solutions, but still that it could be the limited chance for not for the everybody's chance. So it's just the initial stage. So and not only for the Japanese government, but also for the other government. So how we can continue this business? How can we how we can continue this business model using low carbon hydrogen, low carbon ammonia in energy transitions. And we need a harmonization of the various policies, not only in Japan, but also among the other related countries. Of course, and also that we need to harmonize the various detailed regulations about the specs and the safety regulations for hydrogen or ammonia things. That kind of that the international cooperation will be necessary.
Great. Well, we look forward to speaking with you in person in July at our event.
Okay.
I will be there, and I look forward to working with you during your session. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much. I look forward to meeting with you very soon.